Hi guys, welcome back to Subtech Online, a channel where we keep learning. Today we are going to look at how do you clean your data before you start analyzing in Excel. So we are going to look at 12 tricks you can use to clean up your data before you start analyzing. So we start with number one, that is extracting the first name and the last name for using the flash fill feature in Excel. So all those ones who don't know where the flash fill is, it is always found in data. This is the feature. So today we're going to see how it works. Now, given the data, we have a list of representatives. We need to get their first names and last names separated. So what we do, we start with the first one, that is Peter. You type Peter. Moving to the next one, that is Kim. Excel will automatically, I think you have noted, Excel will automatically detect that there is something in common you're trying to do. So the moment you enter, it is going to fill all the names with the first name. We go to the second name, you do the same. Douglas. We move to the second, that is Tolly. So the moment I start typing Tolly, Excel has already detected that there is something in common I'm trying to do, and it will automatically flash fill that. So still we enter, and that is done. So guys, flash fill, it is in data, then flash fill. That's how it works. Or another option is the moment you write the first name, that is Peter, just move into the second cell, that is below Peter, Control E. So the moment you press Control E, it will give you the first name of all the list. Then the same thing you do under Douglas, Control E, it gives you the same list as required. So moving to the next, how do we extract now the first name and the last name using a feature called text to columns? So still in data, we have another feature called text to columns. So remember, now we are having a name, it is separated by a comma and space, then Kathy, that is the second name, but we need to separate all these into first name and last name separate. So what we do, for the case of text to columns, select your list, that is Control Shift down arrow, you select up to the end, from the first to the end. Look for text to columns, that is in data, data tab, then you press text to columns. Now it will bring for you a dialog where it shows that the wizard to show you how you convert text to columns. This time we are not going to use fixed, we are using delimited because we have a comma somewhere. We have seen a comma somewhere. So a comma is a delimiter. There is another video on our channel talking about delimiters. You can check on it. Now selecting delimiters, next, it already shows you the preview that this is how I'm going to divide this data. And indeed, this is how we need it. So first, unselecting this, the first thing you should always select is a tab. Then you look for the delimiter you have. Yes, I have a delimiter. Maybe I can first remove this. I have a delimiter. Then if you know the delimiter, yes, I know the delimiter is a comma. Yeah, true. But again, I see the second name has a space. It has a space in front. So I also remove the space. So it automatically shows you that this is how I'm going to divide the first name and the second name. Then we do next. Now, the destination, where should we replace that data we are getting? That the first name and the second name. If you leave this one, it is going to replace the original data, which we may not need now. So I'm deleting this and selecting another destination. So finishing, it will automatically ask us whether we want to replace the data. Automatically, we don't have data there. Please replace. So that is it. So in just a blink of an eye, we have the first name and the last name. So we find that there is one who had the last name as he had 3 names. So you find that the splitting included 3 names. because we included two delimiters, that is a space and another delimiter which was a comma, but that is no worry, you can replace this one and fix. So that is it. This is how we separate a string or a text using text to columns feature. We move to the third, that is converting numbers formatted as a text. Now always when we download data from another system, we find that the numbers are not looked at as numbers. Yes, in databases, there are different databases, there are different languages we are using from the different systems, so you always have to clean up your data before you start analyzing. Now we are cleaning this data, and the first thing you know that your data is not a number, it is aligned on the left. Numbers are always aligned on the right. Then another thing is it will always have an error bubble. So the error bubble is telling you can convert to numbers, but remember, if you have a list of 10,000 and millions of numbers, you're not going to do this for every number, and sometimes it is not consistent. So the options we have option number one. Option number one, you can always multiply this data by 1. You know, when you multiply anything by 1, Excel looks at it like, yes, they are trying to change this into numbers. Yes, that is the first option. We shall multiply our numbers by 1. Then another option is adding a zero or a space on that number. So we start with the first one, we are adding a 1 on these numbers. So copy the 1, enter the 1 into an empty cell, copy it, select your data. This is the data I'm selecting. Actually, another thing before we go further, when you select your data, you'll find that it is not giving you sum, it just gives you counts, which means they are not numbers. So you see it is giving me 21 instead of giving me the total. Now select your numbers, go to one copy, select all your data, the data you want to convert to numbers, go to paste, look for paste special. Now in paste special we have the operations you can make on data. So the operations we have none, add, subtract, and blah blah. So this time we are going to multiply that data we have selected by 1. So the moment you click on multiply, okay, it will have multiplied the data by 1, and you automatically see that now we have the average, we have the count, and we have the sum. So already that data has been changed to numbers. Now another data, this one, the quantities, I'm going to do now a different option. I'm going to look for any cell that is free or empty. I copy that cell. Remember, it is a 0. Any cell that has an empty, it can be a 0 if we have to consider values. So select the whole of this, do the same, paste, look for paste special. This time we are adding. Do you know that adding nothing to a number which was in form of a text, we are ideally converting into a number. So we are adding nothing to that number, so it will automatically change them to numbers, and here we have our average and sum. So these are automatically numbers, so even I can do all the other computations, like you can sum, you can do what than you would have done before. So that is it. We move to number 4. Number 4, we are extracting numbers from a string or a text. Imagine you are given data, this kind of data, and you are told to extract numbers. The numbers, it may be an ID, it may be a price, it may be a phone number, it may be a location. So you're supposed to extract it from that string. So like here, when we note, we find that there is a name, there is a number in between, there is another name which may be a location. The same thing below, and you find that others are at the beginning, others are at the end. So there is no formula we can use to do it at once, but there is an option. The option still is just a flash fill. So go to flash fill, that is in data. So extract the first number. So my first number may be this. You can copy it, you can manual type it, that is my number. The moment I come to the next row and I press my Control E, Excel will automatically detect that I'm looking for numbers from those strings. And here they are. I will get the numbers. Even if you have 1,000, a million rows, all numbers will be extracted. So that is it. We are moving to number 5. Number 5, if you want to delete rows or data which is highlighted, you may have there is a scenario, you may send a report to your boss and your boss highlights out what you have to remove. It may be too much data or big data you are dealing with, and I'm not going to select one row by one to make sure that at the end of the day I delete at once. That is too much work. So what we do a control find. We want to find that color. So control find. Sorry, I'll first remove this. If there is anything like this, which means you are looking for reds, I can first clear that. So now I want to find my red. Yes. So this time I have nothing to type here, but I'm looking for a format, which is a color. So I'll come to format. Then I look for fill. So there are many formats there. I look for fill that is a red color. I will say okay. Now I'm finding all. So you see it is giving us the first. When you go to next, it gives us the second. We go to next, it gives the third. But this time I want all of them. So clicking on this, it gives me the first. Press the shift and click on the last. It is going to select all of them. So select everything. Then after selecting them, you can close the dialog. Then a control minus, it will give us the delete option, or you can also use this one. So when I click on delete, so delete sheet rows. So it will automatically show you that all the rows that are selected in red have been deleted. We move to number 6. Number 6, we are removing, or we are trimming extra spaces from a cell. Now I've given you two options, that is text and numbers. Now when we look at text, you see that the names are having a lot of spaces, extra spaces which we may not need. Then when you also look at the numbers on the right, you see that they have extra spaces, and it automatically shows you that they are no longer read as numbers. That's why we are getting here just a count, not even a sum. So here we use this formula, the equals trim. So this is the formula you enter here, equals trim. Select on the cell reference, enter. It will automatically trim all the leading space, the space in the middle, the space at the end if any, and auto filling this down, it will do all around my data. So that's how the trim works. It cleans your data to remove all the extra spaces which are included from maybe where you have extracted the data from. So we do the same here, equals trim. This is the cell reference. It will automatically trim all the spaces, and now you see that it is aligned on the left, which still we have already previously seen that still they are not read as numbers, but we have done the first step of removing the extra spaces. What else do? You have already done it. Just get a 1 or a blank space somewhere, copy it, select your data, go to paste, options, paste special, then you add that space. The other time we multiply by 1, and it automatically convert them to numbers, and we have now sum and average. Okay, now we are moving to number 7. Number 7 is how do you remove the blank spaces, the blank cells or rows using the Goto special. I've already talked about this. We are just doing a review. Now How do you know that? How do I select now these blank spaces? Really, am I going to select every row, detect, and here there is a blank space, select this, here there is a blank space, select this? Am I going to do that for all the data? No. Select your data, press Ctrl G, it will bring for you this dialog. We are looking for the special. Go and select blanks. Those are the blanks we need. Select blanks, then say OK. Excel is going to select all the blanks. That's what you see in the gray. This time we want to remove them. So that is deleting all the rows, because we may not need data which is missing some of the data. So what we do, you use a control minus, that is control minus, to bring for you this dialog. Then select entire rows. We are deleting entire rows for those blank spaces, and you say OK. It will automatically clean your data, and all the data you're remaining with is filled up. That is it. We go to number 8. Converting numbers to percentages. This is interesting. So we also have two options. You can do that. Let me copy this data, the rate, paste it here. It's what we are going to convert to a percentage. The first thing, I know someone may be thinking, you select the data and come and click on here percentage, it's here. No, it is going to multiply by 100. So we don't do that. Ctrl Z. What we do, you either put a 1% in one of the blank cells, select copy that, select the whole of this, still go to special, paste special. This time we are multiplying by 1%. It will automatically change your data into percentage, and that is it, you see. Or undo. Another option is dividing this by 100. So just have 100 in one of the cell, Ctrl C, that is copy, select your data, go to special, paste special. This time we are dividing by 100. Yes, after dividing, now here you can come and convert this to percentage. It will be the same thing. So that's how we convert numbers into percentage easily. We go to number 9. Number 9, we are finding common values or duplicates between two lists. So you are given a list of customer A and a list of customer B, but we find that some receipts were paid to customer B and customer A. So we have to clean up that data such that obviously you can't have a receipt paid on both customers. So what do? Select the receipts, the receipt columns, because we want to look at the receipts which are duplicate on both sides. So after selecting your data, it may be columns, it may be too much data, just select the columns. Come on conditional formatting in home tab, conditional formatting, highlight cells, highlight duplicates. So highlight my duplicate values. Sorry, we included the heading which was not meant to be. So press a Ctrl, select this. So this is it. So here it automatically shows you that receipt 6605 was appearing on both customers, and actually it is even the same rep who submitted the receipts on both customers, but here you may find there are different reps. But all it is that at the end of the day you need to clean the data. None of the receipts should be duplicate to another customer. So that's how you can highlight, that's how you can find duplicates. Still you can do the same. Now you can do the same this time. Let's undo this. This time if I want to find a duplicate of both the rep and the receipt, I select now the two columns, come on highlight duplicates. Okay, now this time it is when it highlights duplicates for all, it shows you that this rep is having the same receipt on the other customer. Also this rep is having the same receipt on the other customer. Then the other reps may be just having different receipts, but they appear on the other customer. So that is it. That's how you can find common values or duplicates in 2 or 3 or more than given lists. Now we go to number 10, removing duplicate combinations in your data. Now, after finding, how do you remove them? Yes, we have seen how we find the duplicates, but how do you remove them? Like here we can note that in this data, these are the reps and representatives and their departments, but we find that, okay, let's first find. So select duplicates. So here we find that yes, we may have more than one person appearing in more than one department, but what we don't want is the same person, the same department having it in our data. Like we have this first name in sales, still the same name is in sales. Kate is in electrical, still Kate is in electrical. So that is a duplicate. So what we do, you select the whole column, the 2 columns, or you can even select that data for the better display. Go in data, then we have this remove duplicates. So click on remove duplicates, and it is asking that we are removing duplicates for both rep and department. Yes. So when you remove, and duplicates are gone. Now we remain with departments because yes, we have more than one person in a department. So that is it. That's how we remove duplicates combinations in your data. Now number 11, here we are unstacking data in one column with just using a simple formula. Now guys, we have downloaded data from one of the systems. It is giving us the addresses of employees, but on bringing the data in Excel, on pasting, it pastes the data in one column. Like you can check this. This is Kim on Hawaii Street, and this is his phone number. You go to the next. That one is Mark, Alabama, and that is his phone number. Now, remember, if we are to start analyzing data, or if you are to put that data to its useful stage, what do we do as a data analyst? What do you have to do? The cleanup. How do you do the cleanup? So we need 3 columns: the employee name, the street, and the phone number. So this is what you do. Removing the field. We are going to, on the employee, make sure that you have this in the same row. You see, I'm having those in the same row. So this is the row I'm starting with. So I will link this one, the employee name, to the employee name. But I know already that after every employee, there is an address and phone number. Every employee, address and phone number. So the data is consistent. Because if you have copied it from somewhere, then it has to be consistent. Then we come to the street. That is the row. I come on the column for street, equals, I link the street. Okay. Now I go to phone number. I have to make sure that it is linking with that row, the same row. So equals to that phone number. So now after doing the first employee, select the 3 rows, then autofill your formula downwards up to the end. So this is our data. You see now we have split it, but they are flipping. You see that the name is in another row, the street number is the street is in another row, and the phone number is in another row. So what do we need to do? But remember, the first thing is I have a formula here. It is linking. So the moment this data is deleted, I will not have any value here. Ctrl Z. So what you always do, copy your select your data, copy your data, that is Ctrl C, then paste your data as numbers or values. So when I paste values, it means that I'm getting away with the formulas. You see, if I delete this, my data will stay untouched. Ctrl Z. Now what do we need to do? What we have already done before is to select out the blank spaces. We need to get rid of those blank spaces. The moment we get rid of the blank spaces, this data will be aligned. So select your data, Ctrl G, or you can go to special here. You see, Ctrl G or go to special. Then I will tell my Excel to select for me the blanks. Yes. So when you select the blanks, now you have the opportunity of deleting the blanks. So deleting, we have already said it is either control minus, or you can come here. When you say delete, this has been automatic, but Excel has just done it automatic. I want us to use the other option of control. Control minus. This time already Excel has detected that if you are to delete those blanks and you have your data aligned, you have to shift the cells upwards, which means if I delete, then the data should lift upwards, which is correct, and that's what we are supposed to do. Control left means that when you delete, the data shifts on the left. Deleting rows and columns, you know that. So when we delete cells and it pushes them on top, those ones remaining with data, we shall say okay. And guys, this is our data, well cleaned from this junk of data we downloaded from another system. So that is it, guys. Now we move to number 12. Number 12, this is these are directory paths. It is a file path, or maybe I can call it where your file exists. Either it can be a system or it can be your folder. If you need to know how you can copy a path of a file, these are folders. You can check our video on YouTube about how we extract file path from our folders. So what we do here is we are extracting the name. So we are doing a control find. You close the preview. Sorry, when you find the preview with already this, so which means we are doing something on formatting, so you clear the format. This time we are going to search for, you see that every file name where the last one there is a slash. Yes, we are going to find a slash, but a backward slash. Then we shall put an asterisk, which we use always for multiplication, but now it is an asterisk, or we call it a wildcat in Excel. So we are going to find this. This one means that I want everything after this, but anything the other side of the wildcat, I don't need it. So I'm going to first copy my data such that we remain with the original data. This is it. Then we find this and replace it. So we are finding and replacing it with none. So find and replace, you replace all. So when you check this, it will automatically give you only file names. Like you can check here, it has given me from there. You can check this one, or you can check this, it has given me from here. So that is a way how we can separate the other directory from the file names. Then you can go further doing the search. We find that we have every file name, there is its type. You see it is a .mp4. If you want to remove a .mp4, still search for a .mp4 and you replace it with blank. So I can search for .mp4, I replace it with blank, select your data, then I replace it with blank. So all the .mp4s will disappear. But imagine there was a file called mp4.mp4. You'll find that you have deleted everything. So there is another option to do that. So Control Z, Control Z. So I'm bringing them back. Now another option is this. You remember the option we were having for flash fill. So what I'm going to do for the first instance, I'm going to select the name without the mp4. This is it. Now when you move to the second, just click you go to data, then you click on flash fill. Flash fill will automatically remove all the .mp4s at the end of the day. Or you can Control Z and do Control E, which is the shortcut for flash fill. Guys, this is the way how you can get file names from a full path with a file replacement in Excel. Find and replace in Excel. Thank you for watching our 12 tricks of cleaning data. If it is your first time on this channel, please subscribe, hit the bell, and comment anything.